Hey, how you doing there again, folks? Me again, of course, Brandon Wenzel. Come back at you. Another offering off my sampler platter. Yes, indeed, folks. Sampler review series reviews I've been doing for a little while now. I go over there to try out food and drink items. I eat the stuff, I drink stuff. Then, folks, I'm going to talk about stuff. I'm going to let you know all that you need to know about hopefully delicious stuff that time I'm doing this, folks. I'm not going to lie. I am very excited for this review. But we'll get to that. Folks, it's a super simple format. I'm going to go over there. I'm going to try out food and or drink items for you. Whilst I'm doing so, I'm going to yammer on about it for a bit. Whilst I'm doing all that, I'm inside my truck. And whilst I'm doing all that, folks, I'm wearing a super cool shirt. Folks, when I wear super cool shirts, I always like to highlight super cool shirt. What super cool shirt am I wearing today? Boom! It is one of my Yu Yu Hakusho shirts. What with Yusuke and Kurama and Hiei and Kuwabara. If you are unfamiliar with Yu Yu Hakusho, by the way, I'm a super nerd too, so aside from food stuff, I'm also a music guy, anime guy to a certain extent, video game, a man of many passions. But if you're unfamiliar with Yu Yu Hakusho, it's an older-ish anime by today's standards. Came out in the very early 90s, sort of around-ish the same time as like your Dragon Balls and your Sailor Moons. I didn't become aware of it until it finally kind of gained, some widespread American exposure. It was originally released on Adult Swim on Cartoon Network, then eventually made its way to the Toonami block. And I just fell in love with it, man. I was super into it. That was part of like the first like real proper anime push in America. I know some people will say like Speed Racer and like that whole thing. And I'm not completely discounting it. But I think when Toonami really did its thing, that was like when anime really stuck in America. That's when it became less of like just this like weird little offshoot thing that was kind of niche and more starting to gear towards, just the general population. And Yu Yu Hakusho is my jam. As much as I enjoy some Dragon Ball every now and again, for me it's Yu Yu Hakusho. But anyway, what am I trying for today, folks? What are we doing here? Well, I'm very excited because I'm trying a sub sandwich. Not only am I trying a sub sandwich, I'm trying a sub sandwich from a place that I already tried a sub sandwich from, and I really like that one, so hopefully this one's really good too. But because it is a sub sandwich review, I have to preface it with three things very quickly. Number one, we're over a year now, well over a year, probably close to two. I've been going on sub sandwich adventures. What that means is I've been going out to basically every place that sells sub sandwiches, be it chain locations, delis, Walmarts, the break room at my work. I've been going over there, picking up subs, trying them out, reviewing them, putting them on YouTube. That's where the second part comes in, because not only do I go over there and put them onto YouTube, I'm also nice enough to go over there and collect them in just a singular playlist called Subs for Subs. That playlist, it is just my sub sandwich reviews. So if you like my sub sandwich reviews, first of all, thank you very much. Secondly, that's where they all are. The time I'm doing this, I have over 100. But maybe that's not enough. Maybe you're too greedy for sub sandwich reviews. It's okay. All you have to do is wait until Sunday. Why? Because Sunday is SUBday. That is my kitschy little thing that I came up with. Sunday is the day when I upload my sub sandwich reviews. Ever since I started doing that, I've stuck to it. Usually I do 2, sometimes I do 1, sometimes I do 3, sometimes I do 4. It depends on how much stuff is in my backlog. But you're going to definitely get some sub sandwich review and goodness. Anyway, what am I trying for you? Where is it from? Oh my god. I almost dropped it. Boom! It comes in a styrofoam thing. And boom! It is this! Oh my god, it looks delicious and wonderful. What is this, by the way? Where's it from? This is the Hot Steak Supreme sub sandwich from a place called Shannon's Deli in Lombard, Illinois. I just want to mention real quick, what with this being a Illinois institution, like just, specific, it's also going to end up on my Eating Out Illinois playlist. That playlist is just for local spots I'm trying to highlight. So, what does the Hot Steak Supreme, because they have a hot steak just by itself, but I went for the Supreme. What does it consist of? It is marinated hanger steak, sauteed jalapenos, red onion, tomato, mozzarella cheese, and sour cream. This is an interesting one. It sounds delicious, and I don't think I've ever had a sub sandwich like this in all my adventures. So, let's go ahead. Let's get a thing for the thing. Looks like that. Ha 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 ha. But Can we do better than that? I think we can do better than that. Damn it, Brandon, we can definitely do better than that. Okay, looks like, can we get it there? Something like that, maybe? Ha 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 ha! Maybe a little ha, yeah, something like that. Ha 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 ha! Sure. Anyway, let's try a thing. Oh, it's juicy. I love that. I love the juice. Let's give it a go. Instantly, that was delicious. Instantly, that was delicious. Oh, and then you get the heat in there. This right here, folks, I'm calling it right now. This is the business. If you watch my channel long enough, you know if I really like something, it's the business. This sub sandwich is the business. I just got through reviewing their Italian sub, which was a very good Italian sub. But I have to admit, this right here, this takes it for me, man. That is so awesome. It's all the flavors. You get the meatiness of the hanger steak. You get the freshness of the veg. You get the nice flavor of the jalapeno. And it just gives it this, like, sort of radiating heat. Not like crazy spicy, but spicy enough that if you weren't into spicy stuff, you might not like it. But for me, it's... And just kind of goes through. And then you get, like, this cut through from the sour cream. It just gives it this little extra tang and just this nice little extra creaminess. And the thing I really like about the addition of the sour cream, I think that is crucial to this. It's evident, but not intrusive. Sour cream is something, it obviously has a really strong flavor profile. It would be so easy for that to go over there and really just kind of take this whole thing over. But I think with just everything else going on, instead of being in that position, it just kind of, it works with everything. You know, it becomes an accent to what's going on instead of, again, just, you know, taking over the entire sandwich. This is phenomenal. I'm going to try just a little bit of the hanger steak. It's juicy, it's tender, it's steaky. Yeah, that's proper. I like it. I will say, if I'm being, 100% honest, have I tasted better steak? Yes, but that was, but it's, again, it's proper steak. It's nice and marinated. It's flavorful. I'm just saying, like, I've been to, like, steakhouses and stuff like that, but I'm not trying to gauge it against that. But the steak is tasty. I think the mix of the jalapeno and the cream cheese, I mean, those two things work, obviously, anyway, but I love this. Love it. It reminds me a little bit of, like, a Philly cheesesteak, but with, like, the jalapeno, the onions and the tomato, it's almost a little bit like a Gia De Niro, which, if you're familiar with, like, Chicago cuisine, like, that's a thing. But it kind of reminds me of, like, a similar roll. A little bit different, but, like, man, that's fantastic. 2 questions have to be asked, folks. Would I get it again? Would I recommend it? 100% and 100%. This is a very good sub sandwich. And it really kind of highlights something that I love that I wish more sub places would do, but fair enough. I love it when they have, like, their own, like, signature things that they can really do that no other place is going to offer quite the same way. And with the Italian sub, they had a house-made sauce that went with it, which was absolutely fantastic. In this case, I've never had a sub quite like this. Similar, like I said, like a Philly cheesesteak kind of thing, but never quite like this. this is something where, it's like, yeah, if I was in the Lombardish area, I wanted a good Italian sub, I could go there for their Italian sub. But this is a sandwich I would go specifically to Lombard to get, because this is something that I can't get anywhere else, and it's just absolutely fantastic. And it's one of those things I know at some point down the line, I'm going to want this sandwich again. To that end, if I'm recommending it, I think it's phenomenal. I don't think it's going to be for everybody. Like I said, it does have a little bit of a heat to it, so, might not be for everybody. My friend Drew doesn't like spicy stuff, but I do think it's one of those things where, like, man, if you enjoy a good sub sandwich, and it has, like, certain, again, it has, like, a certain kind of, like, Illinois, Chicago kind of flair to it. It's just meaty and tasty and wonderful, and, like, it's absolutely fantastic. So, yeah, I highly recommend not only this particular sub, not only the Italian sub, but I'm going to go as far as to say that, yes, I definitely recommend Shannon's Deli. I think between these two subs, even though it's a small sampling of their menu, they have very much impressed me. I think they make some banging ass subs. So, they get my full endorsement in that regard. But anyway, 5 things before I get out of here. Have yourself a great rest of your day, spectacular rest of the week, monumental rest of the month, stupendous rest of your folks. Go over there and have yourselves a proper, just fantastic sub sandwich rest of your life, man. Like, whatever kind of sub sandwich you like. Originally, I wasn't going to do a sub sandwich review. I was going to go back to a place called I Love Fries, which I reviewed a couple of their things. But I don't know, their hours are weird. And it was like one site was listing them as being open, and then another one was listing them as being closed. And I went there and they were closed at the time, so I don't know. I'm not sure what's going on with their hours right now. But anyway, final 2 things. Number 1, try to bring some positivity in the world. It's not always possible. It is, however, always appreciated. But what you do if you can't do all the time, I know I can't do all the time. Here's what you do, folks. You're going to try not to be an asshole. Folks, it's not always the easiest thing in the world to not be an asshole. Trust me. I know it. I live it. I'm out there every day with you in it. Life can be stressful and frustrating, just bullshit sometimes. And when we deal with those situations, take a step back, try to mitigate the level of assholishness in our lives. Hopefully do better for ourselves and for those around us. Very final thing, folks, do the thing. Whatever the thing is for you, that's what I want you to go out and do. Folks, is there a spot that's local to you that has like a signature sandwich? Something that you can't get anywhere else? If they do, by all means, please go over there and hit me up in the comments. Let me know. I would love to hear about this stuff. Seriously. Because it's so cool to, like regional variants or, just some place doing their own thing. There's a sandwich that's famous in Illinois called the Horseshoe. And despite the fact that I've lived in Illinois my entire life, I've never had. I guess it's more of a Springfield kind of thing. And it's like, you would think, well, with it being like such a, thing that we're known for, it would have made its way to Chicago or, at least some of the surrounding Chicagoland area. And it's like, not really, no. But I'd love to try one sometimes and do it, sometime and do a review of it. But anyway, or conversely, I mean, hey, just whatever sandwiches you love, whether it's classic, whether it's something, with its own spin on it, as long as you're enjoying yourself. Maybe you don't even like sandwiches. I don't know, do what you want. Bye.